here we are again. I remember speaking up there just 100 yards away in Trafalgar Square during COVID, and here we are talking about digital ID. Well, that's COVID, that is, and this is digital ID. This is, no. It's all part of a vast tapestry of human control, which I've been uncovering now for coming up 36 years, and people used to bloody laugh, but they laugh a lot less now, because the humorous, the ridiculous, the nutter is now unfolding before our eyes. And if we just stop and just consider what we call history, we will see that what is happening now is just an expression of what has always happened. Look through history. What is a massive common theme? That the few have always controlled the many. How is that possible? How is it possible for a relative handful in full knowledge of what they're doing to control and direct the lives of, we are told now, 8 billion people? Oh, they say it's not possible for a few to control the world. That's daft. Oh, really? Oh, really? So why has it always happened throughout human history? Because it's a very, very simple technique. Number one, you are the few and you want to control the many. If the many are united and in understanding of the agenda of the few, you have got no bloody chance. So, what do you need to do? First of all, you need to get your target population to believe unquestioningly and rigidly whatever you can get them to believe. And you don't want them all believing the same for reasons I'll come to. You just want them to believe in a religion, in a political ideology, in a culture that is believed rigidly and without question. Why? Well, many reasons, but first of all this one. Once you have a rigid, unquestioning belief system, you are denying yourself the exploration and the seeking more understanding outside of your rigid belief. If you have a religious belief, you will not go beyond the walls of that belief, because you will no longer be whatever you call yourself if you start exploring into the infinity of possibility. So, number one, you get people to believe anything. They don't bloody care what you believe, so long as you believe it rigidly and without question. Because then they have put you in your own personal prison of the mind. And then, once they have these different belief systems, all focusing unquestioningly on what they have been manipulated to believe, you have the perfect situation to play off belief against belief, to divide and rule. And that combination of rigid belief and divide and rule has allowed the few to control the vastness of humanity throughout known human history. And people say, what's the solution? I'm not interested in solutions, because solutions invariably lead to other problems in need of still more solutions. What I'm interested in is the cause. What is the cause of the problem we wish to eliminate? Because if you remove the cause, you will remove the problem. What is the cause? The cause is founded on human perception. The whole conspiracy to enslave humanity is founded on human perception, because from perception comes behavior. You want to control human behavior, you control human perception. And the more little perceptions you have, the more divide and rule you have at your disposal. So, what we're talking about in relation to digital ID and the AI-human fusion is control of perception. Up to this point, they have had to manipulate perception by manipulating and controlling information. We form our perceptions from information received. It might be the 10 o'clock news, it might be a Facebook post, it might be a personal experience. But from that information, we form our perception, which dictates our behavior. People gave their minds away to the COVID hoax. They lined up and put their arms out, and they went meekly into their homes under essentially house arrest. Why did they do that across the world? They did it because their perceptions had been hijacked. There was a deadly virus, and this is the way to protect yourself. I, throughout COVID, did not wear a sodding mask, did not social distance. If people wanted to walk around me, they could walk around me. I wasn't frightened of them because I knew the whole thing was a load of bollocks. And I must have hugged thousands of people during COVID, and I never had so much as a bloody sniffle. And yet, in fear, manipulated fear of a deadly virus, we had a tiny few people dictating the lives of billions. Why? Why? How? Because we do not have tyrannies, because the population is forced by tyranny to do what they want. Fascism, communism, tyranny is never brought in by fascists, communists, and tyrants. Why? There's never enough of them. Fascism, communism, tyranny is brought in by the population acquiescing and obeying fascists, communists, and tyrants. That's how it comes about. So if we are looking for the cause of the problem, and therefore looking for the means of eliminating the problem, then what we do is we take back control of our perceptions. We insist that evidence is supporting what we're told to believe. We question everything. We decide what we believe. We don't get our perceptions and our beliefs off the shelf from authority or anybody else. We individually decide what we believe. Number two, we respect each other in the sense of we respect everyone coming to their own conclusions without having an effort to force our conclusions on them. And then what we do as a collective is we stop obeying tyranny. We stop obeying the authority that has come through the ages, and my God, this goes back so long, that's come through the ages to current times, more and more and more, imposing the will of the few on the many globally. We have to stop obeying authority. We have to stop cooperating with our own enslavement and the enslavement of our children and grandchildren. We have to come together and put down the fault lines of divide and rule. I don't care what religion you have. I don't care what political ideology you have. I don't care what cultural belief you have. I care about focusing all attention upon that which is seeking to control us all. This is not a force, a global network I call the global cult. This is not a network that is targeting Christians and targeting Muslims or targeting this, that, or whatever. Their focus is to play us off against each other so that we can all be controlled, while we can be divided so they, the few, can rule. That is the answer to removing the cause of the problem. Put down your irrelevant divisions of fault lines that divide us, and then we can look symbolically and see that all along the same hands have held the strings attached to all of us. That's the realization that will bring this down, because it is simple mathematics. 8 billion people cannot be controlled by a handful unless the billions give their power away to the few. Okay. Starmer, Mr. Puppet Man, Starmer, they're all puppet men in that, and puppet women in that house down the road. He comes out, he says, we've had a discussion and we've decided that digital ID is coming in. Okay, so where's your power, Mr. Stammer? Where is your power? Your power is only in human acquiescence of the population to your diktat and decision. If enough people say, We're not doing it. Up yours. We're not having it. When enough people say that, when enough people do that, we'll see where the power has been all along. Ironically, it's never been with the few. It's always been with the many. But for reasons I've discussed and talked about here, the many have been manipulated into forgetting that basic fact. So here we are, because of that, we are staring in the eyes of the dragon to see a digital AI human fusion dystopia, the like of which this world has never seen in known human history. And what is that dystopia? It is to infiltrate the human mind with artificial intelligence. It's already happening, to the point where we no longer think our thoughts anymore. We no longer have our emotional responses anymore. We have theirs via AI. And anyone who thinks, and unfortunately some still do, that Elon Musk is your friend, he is pushing and pushing and pushing while telling you here what you want to hear. He's pushing this AI dystopia with all his mates. And you only have to go to Starmer down the road. Who is Starmer's handler? Tony Blair. Who is Tony Blair's handler? Larry Ellison, the media and AI billionaire. Supposedly Musk is the richest man in the world. Supposedly Ellison is the second richest. And they have your best interests at heart. We are looking now, in a few years, if we don't unite and don't put down these fault lines of division at a level of control that beggars belief and imagination. Where, as Ray Kurzweil, the Google futurist kind of executive who is articulating this, it will be great to be fused with AI. What has he said a few years ago? He said that by 2030, we are coming into 2026. By 2030, humanity will be attached to artificial intelligence, or it will have started, already has. And from then on, he said, his words, not mine, humanity, or AI, will do more and more of human thinking until human thinking is negligible. That's what we are staring in the face. And this digital ID with a digital currency dictating everything in our lives, what we can do and what we can't do, along with the AI human fusion, is a level of dystopia that is beyond the imagination. We still have the chance, because 8 billion cannot be controlled by a few unless the few acquiesce, or the many acquiesce to the few. It's not possible. So we can bring this down essentially overnight if enough people say we are not doing what you demand. And it's the division that stops that happening. So people want solutions. People want to remove the cause of the problem. Then it's in our hands to do so. And that means human race, for the first time in known human history, get off your freaking knees. No more. United, united, we are a lion. Divided, we are sheep. We have the answer. But are we going to take it? That's the question. Because united, we are the lion. And it's time that the lion that has been there sleeping throughout human history, that the lion sleeps no more. It's time, long past the time. And I say to anyone across the world who sees this, it's time for the lion to roar!
If you want to read more and watch more of my content, then go to the description under the video where you can buy my books. The latest one is The Roadmap, where you can get tickets for public events, and how you can subscribe to a fantastic video channel called Iconic, iconic.com.